Hello student. In today's session, we will discuss about the deep drawing process. First of all, what is drawing process? There are two types of drawing process. That is one which is used for make a bar or make a wires, and another one is the sheet metal drawing process. Okay, so first of all, we will discuss what is the drawing process if we consider the or we want the output as a bar or a wires. So this is a die, okay, and this is my the raw material. And when we pull this raw material, on this side, then reduction of the size or area of the raw material takes place, and this process is called as the drawing process. If this diameter is very small, then we can reduce or we can obtain the wires as output, and if this diameter is large, then we call it as a bar. The shape of this is maybe circular, or it may be a rectangular, or as per our requirement. If we want a output as a square bar, then the shape of this die opening should be a rectangular. According to the output that we require, we will change this shape of that output opening. Okay, so this is called as a drawing process. But in our syllabus, we have a deep drawing process. Means this is related to the sheet metal working. Okay, so what is the drawing process if we consider it as a sheet metal working? So this is a die, and this is my raw material. Okay, this is punch. Okay, this is die. We will make it as a die. This is punch, and this raw material is called as a blank. Okay, this is called the blank, and the force is applied on this, and this is called as the blank holder. Blank holder. Okay. So this is a sheet metal having some thickness T. Then this is a punch. This is a die, and when we apply the force on a punch, this material will flow inside this cavity, and we will obtain the required output as a cup shape. So this process is called as the drawing process. So what are some applications of the drawing process? To obtain the cup shape as an output, or to obtain the utensils that used in our kitchen, just like the pan. Then if we see the cans of the cold drinks, this is also made up of, or this is also made up by this drawing process. Okay, so this process is called as the drawing. If we see here, this die having some radius here. Radius, suppose we will mark it with small r suffix d. That's the die radius. Die radius, and here is punch also having some radius. So we will call it as a small r and suffix p. Punch radius. So what is the purpose of this radius to provide in a die and punch? if we not providing this radius here, then this material will cut here. Means this operation is not called as a drawing operation, it will be called as a punching operation. Because due to these sharp edges, the material will not get bent, it will be a get cut, or it will be a means here we will obtain the circular part. So to avoid the cutting action, these radius are provided on a punch and die. Okay, and here is also some clearance. If you see, this is the outer edge and this is the punch, and this is the outer edge and here this. So this is called as the clearance. Clearance. So what is the purpose of this clearance? To freely flow of the material into this gap. To freely flow the material into the gap. Okay, and what is the use of this blank holder? The use of this blank holder to apply some pressure while when we apply the force on a punch, this material will flow inside that and we will get the this U shape or cup shape output. Okay, if we not provide this blank holder here, then here this output we obtain which having the wrinkles on its outer surface, which we obtain the wrinkles on its outer surface. To avoid these wrinkles, the blank holder is provided. And how much pressure that is applied on this punch, it should be a very small, or it will be it means this having some specific value. It should be not very large or it should be not very low. If this blank pressure is very low, then wrinkles are provided on that outer surface of the final product. And if this blank pressure is very high, then this material will not freely flow inside it. It will be get buckled here, or it will get buckled here, so that the shape of this output will look like that. Why this happen? Because if this edge of the blank will not freely flow inside this cavity, then it will get trapped here and the top surface of the output product will be thinner and bottom surface of it become thicker. Okay, because large tensile stresses develop at here and it will be less as the bottom. So to avoid this, the blank holder is provided and having some specific value of the pressure. This value of the pressure is vary according to this material which is used for the blank. Okay, so this is the terminology and these are the some basic concept for the drawing process. Okay, now there are two types of the drawing. The first one is the shallow drawing. And second one is the deep drawing. So what is mean by shallow drawing and what is mean by deep drawing? So if we see, this is my desired output product, okay, and this is the outer diameter. We call it as a shell. For a further process, we will call it as a shell. So d, small d is the outer diameter of the shell and h is the height of the shell. H is the height of the shell, and here this is diameter, that is from this end. This is a blank and its diameter is represented by the capital D. Capital D is the blank diameter. Okay. So H by D. If I take the ratio of H by D, suppose this H is less than or equal to 1/2 of small. If H is equal to or less than 1/2 of D, then it is called as a shallow drawing. If this ratio, this H is less than 1 by D, then it is called as a shallow drawing. And if this H is greater than 1/2 of the D, then it is called the deep drawing. This height of this shell is more than half of the D, then we will call it as the deep drawing. And in our syllabus there is the process is a deep drawing. So we will discuss about the deep drawing process. Okay. Now we will calculate the blank diameter. Blank diameter. Okay. So suppose this is my blank having diameter as capital D, and we think this is T. And when we apply the pressure, when we do the process, then we will get this as my as the output. This is the output, and it having the diameter as a small d and height as a h. Suppose I want a shell having a diameter small d and having a height as a h, then what is the size of the blank that I require? Or suppose I want a shell of some diameter 100 mm and height of also 100 mm, then what size of the blank we have to choose to get this as an output? So here if we see the area, the surface area of the blank remains same. Surface area of the blank remains same. So surface area of this blank is equal to surface area of this shell. So we apply here surface area of blank equal to surface area of shell. Okay. So what is the surface area of this blank? The surface area of the blank is equal to pi by 4 d square. So here it is equal to pi by 4 into capital D square, and here the surface area of this shell is pi by 4 into small d square plus pi into d into h. Okay. Area remains constant, therefore pi by 4 d square is equal to pi by 4 d square into this. Okay. So if I take the pi by 4 as a common, then you will get pi by 4 into capital D square is equal to pi by 4 into here small d square plus 4 into d into h. This pi by 4 will get cancelled, and here capital D square is equal to small d square plus 4dh. And if we solve this, take the square root of this, then it is equal to d square plus 4d into h. 4d into h. And by using this formula, we can find out the blank diameter. We can find out the blank diameter, and there are some cases. If what is the when we use this formula, there are different formulas according to this. So if here D by R. D by R. This is the D is the diameter of the shell and R is the small r is the radius of the corner. Small r is the radius of the corner. If this ratio is greater than or equal to 20, if this ratio is greater than or equal to 20, then we use this formula as capital D is equal to B square plus 4D. If this D by R ratio is less than 20, means this value is remaining between 20 to 50. If we take the ratio of D by R and it is between 20 to 50, then we have to change this formula, and this formula is become capital D is equal to small d square plus 4dh minus 0.5 into small r. 0.5 into small r, and this formula is used when this D by R is between 20 to 50. Here remember that this 0.5 into R is outside the square root. This term is inside the square root and this is the outside the square root. Now if this D by R is less than 50, if this D by R is less than 50, then we have a formula that D is equal to square root of D square plus 4dh minus R. This is the formula, and here remember that this R is also outside the square root. This R is also outside the square root. So this is the calculations. This is the calculations for to calculate the diameter of the blank. Diameter of the blank. Now we will discuss about the percentage reduction. Have you got here? How can we calculate the diameter of the blank? Here we compare the surface area of the blank with the surface area of the shell, and after comparing this we will get that formula, and according to there are different conditions, according to that we have to choose which formula we have to use. Okay, here remember that when this blank is converted into shell, there is some trimming allowances. Allowances is provided. This suppose if we take the blank of diameter capital D, and when we convert this blank into this shell, we can means whole the area or whole material will not converted into this shell. We have some trimming allowances also needed there to remove the sharp edges or to remove or for finishing purposes also. So there is some trimming allowances is provided. And what is the value of that trimming allowance? As per the book, this value is given. But remember that every 25 mm diameter, 3 mm clearance allowance. 3 mm clearance allowance is provided. As per book, its value is get changed, but remember that trimming allowances is 3 mm per 25 mm diameter. Means suppose the diameter, this capital D is suppose 50 mm. This capital D is suppose 50 mm. Then trimming allowances is 3 mm. Trimming allowance is 3 mm. If this diameter is suppose 100 mm, then trimming allowances is equal to 425 into 3, that is 4 into 3, because 100 divided by 25 is we will get as a 4 into 3 is 12. So 12 mm trimming allowances is provided. So according to this, trimming allowances is necessary. If they ask in numerical, use the trimming allowances as this amount, then you can use. Otherwise, you can take the value of trimming allowances as 25 for 25 mm diameter, 3 mm as a trimming allowance. Okay. Now we will discuss that is the percentage reduction. that is the percent reduction. What is mean by percent reduction? Percent reduction is equal to, it has a formula, that is it is equal to capital D minus small d into 100. Capital D minus small d into 100 is called as the percent reduction. Okay. Now there is another term, that is number of draws. Number of draws. How to decide the number of draws? Okay. Number of draws means, suppose this is my blank and I want to convert this blank into this type of the curve shape. This type of the curve shape. This is, suppose this is the first output. Then suppose I want to do this as second output. Okay. I want to convert this blank into these two shapes. Okay. Here if we see, the height is large and here is height is small. As here is height is large, then diameter is small, and here is height is small, diameter of the shape is large. Then if we consider here how many draws are required, say if we want this as output, then suppose one draw is required. Then for this purpose also we require one draw? No. For as per the height to diameter ratio, we will decide the number of draws required. If we want this as an output, as the first output, and this is my second output, then number of draws means number of force applied. What is mean by draw? That is, when we apply the force on a punch, it will move inside the cavity of the die. Okay. So, how many number of times that punch will apply the force to get the desired output? This is called the number of draws. So, if this as my output, then number of draws required is large, and this is, suppose this is my output, then number of draws required is less. So this is the how we can decide this number of draws. So there is a relation, that is, if my h by d ratio, if my h by d ratio is less than or equal to 0.25. If this h by d ratio is less than or equal to 0.75, then number of draws is 1. Number of draws is 1. These are some empirical relations that we have obtained. So if this h by d is less than or equal to 0.75, the number of draws required is 1. Now suppose this h by d is between 0.75 to 1. If this h by d is in between 0.75 to 1.5, then number of draws is required 2. Then number of draws is required 2. Now, if this h by d is equal to 1.5 to 3, if this value is 1.5 to 3, then number of draws required 3. And if this h by d is between 3 to 4.5, then number of draws required 4. Number of draws required 4. Number of draws required 4. So this is the number of draws. How we can decide how many number of draws are required? According to this value, we can decide the how many number of draws we require. Okay. Now, how many percentage reduction is obtained in each draw? How many percentage reduction is obtained in each draw? Suppose there is, for first draw, the percentage reduction is 40. For a first drop, the percentage reduction is a 40. If there are two drops, then how much percentage reduction was there? That is, in first drop, the percentage reduction is in between 0 to 40%. 0 to 40%, and for a second drop it is 25%. Percentage reduction for first drop is up to 40%, and for a second drop it is up to 25%. If there are three drops, then percentage reduction for a first draw is 40, then it is 25, then it is 50. Means percentage reduction for a first draw is 40%, percentage reduction for a second draw is 25%, and percentage reduction for a third draw is 15%. If there are four draws, then this value is 40%, 25%, 15%, and 10%. Okay. So these are the number percentage reduction for each drop. Okay. Have you got this? Now next is force required. I will give the drawing force. It is called the drawing force. Drawing force. So what is the drawing force? Means the amount of force that should be applied on a punch. The amount of force that should be applied on a punch to get a desired output is called the drawing force. So what is the drawing force? It is denoted by F, D, F for a force, D for a drawing. And it has a formula pi d t into capital D or small? Capital D into sigma L into capital D divided by small d minus pi d is the diameter of the shell, t is the thickness of the blank, sigma t is the yield strength of the material, capital D is the diameter of the blank, small d is the diameter of the shell, C is the constant and its value is in between. The value of the C is in between 0.6 to 0.7. It is 0.6 to 0.7. It will be given you numerical. If they are not given you numerical, take the value of C as per your requirement. Okay. Here, this is FD is the drawing force, pi is the constant, D is the diameter of the shell, T is the thickness of the blank, sigma T is the yield tensile strength of the material, capital D diameter of the blank, small d is the diameter of the shell, C is the constant. In this case, we have not considered the frictions. In this case, we have not considered the friction. So, if we consider the friction, this force is only for drawing purpose. But in drawing process, the complete drawing will not obtain. There is some bending is also there, some friction is also there, because when this punch is applied a force on this blank will move inside that. This blank will move inside this die cavity, and there is some friction. Means here is also friction, here is also friction. The bending of this blank is also takes place. Here the bending is takes place. Here is also friction. So if we consider all these things, then this formula gets changed, and this formula becomes FD is equal to 1.3 pi dt into sigma y into capital D minus upon small d minus c. So this formula gets converted to here is 30% is this 30% of this friction or this bending, all of considering, we will take it as a 30% of the total force. So this is the formula to calculate the drawing force in the deep drawing process. Okay. Now Now we will solve some numerical which is based on this drawing process in a next part. Okay, so we will stop here.